again, everyone. So you may notice that my lighting is a little bit different, or maybe you don't notice, but I'll mention it anyway. So essentially I moved my desk around in my home office, which was really my home guest bedroom before COVID happened. And I would occasionally work in this room, but now this is pretty much my main work room, and this is where I do most of my videos for YouTube. So I moved my desk across the room near the window. So now there is window light coming from this direction, and I am, at least for the time being, if I'm filming during the day, I'm going to try not to use artificial light coming from this side, because normally I would use a little lighting rig over here and then another lighting rig over here. So I'm just going to be using this one, and then with the natural light, hopefully this will be enough light for you to see. All that is to say, what I'm bringing you today is an unboxing from Yoseka Stationery. So I think you'll be really happy to see what I have here. Basically, these things are going to go together, and I will open this first because this is kind of the star of the show. I will put this off to the side. There is going to be some crinkling. I'm going to warn you right now. I'm going to save this washi tape to the extent I can. Usually I can save some of it. Oh, it's a bag within a bag, or a wrap within a bag. Okay, so this is a fountain pen ink by Kobe Ink. Let me get that out of the way. And I'll go ahead and open this. I'm not going to swatch it because I'm actually going to put it in what's in that other bag, which I'll show you here in a minute. You'll know by the title, but you know, humor me. So this is, it's a sepia color, but I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Vintage sepia Shioya, vintage sepia. Okay. And it was a really lovely color in the samples. I have another Kobe ink in sort of a lavender color that's just beautiful, and I wanted to try another color that was a little bit darker from them to see what I thought about it. And I thought this ink went pretty well with this pen, and I'll show you. Let me put this box and the little label off to the side here. So here's our ink. And some more washi tape, but that one is not salvageable. It broke right off. Okay, so this is the new special edition TWSBI Eco. So let's see. Dear Mystery, thank you for your pre-order of your new pen with us. Starting the new year with a fountain pen is a great feeling. Yeah, I hate to break it to them, but I've already started my new year with a few fountain pens. So this is not the first, for better or for worse. And I'm going to try and save this washi tape too. I generally put that in my planner. These notes, I have been trying to keep them all, but my stack of little notes that I have is quite big from different shops that I'm not sure if I want to keep them, but they're so sweet and I feel like I can't throw them away. Kobe ink will look so pretty with the smoke rose gold color of this pen. So that's the ink and that is the pen. So let me go ahead and put these things aside. So as they said, this is the Smoke Rose Gold Eco, which is a special edition Eco. They've already released this color combination in the Diamond 580. And I have that one as well, but I don't think I have it handy to compare. So let's get this out, and then I'll see if I can remember where I put that. Okay, so in the TWSBI boxes for the Ecos, you normally get this little instruction paper here. And then you get this little wrench and you get a little bit of silicone grease. I never have used the silicone grease that comes with the Ecos. I just haven't gotten to the point where I felt like the piston needs it, which is kind of why they provide it to lubricate this if it has trouble going up and down. And then here, this is a little tag just saying don't use alcohol on it. I have actually seen pictures on some of the fountain pen communities on Facebook of people, mostly in the medical field, who have had to use a lot of hand sanitizer and that sort of thing with alcohol. And if they're using a TWSBI, it completely demolishes the plastic. So that's sort of a lesson in don't do that if you can help it. I know this is kind of the age of the hand sanitizer. So I know a lot of people are using it, but it's really harmful to the resin that these pens are made out of, or acrylic, I should say. All right, so let's take a look here, and I'll open this up and I'll show you which nib I got. So I got the stub nib, which I believe is a 1.1. We'll see how this stub works. I have one other stub from TWSBI Eco. Do I have one? No, that's not true. I have two. I forgot about the other one because my husband is using it. So I have one on a Diamond 580, which works great, and that's the one my husband is using. And then I have one on a TWSBI Go, which also works fairly well. I actually used it in a recent watercolor with me on the channel. And then now I have this one in an Eco. I just kind of wanted to fill that gap because I didn't have it. I didn't have the stub nib in an Eco. So let's go ahead and close that up. I am a little less prepared than I planned to be. Let me see. I know that I put, hold on, I'm going to be doing some zipping and unzipping of pouches here. It's not that one, but it might be the other one. Because I tried to put these special editions together, and let's see if I can find, yes, haha, here we go. Okay, so here are the other special editions in this rose gold series. So this is the one that I just got, and then this is the Golden Horse special edition that was really limited, and then this is the White Rose Gold Eco. This is the White Rose Gold Diamond 580 Mini, and then these are the Smoke Rose Gold Diamond 580s. I'll show you the difference here. This one has ink in it, so it's going to look a little darker. But the main difference is obviously the model and the nibs are different. But as far as coloring goes, the main difference is that the bottom of this piston for the 580 is a rose gold color, and this one is black. So that's the main difference as far as the coloring. The other differences are really just differences you would see between the Eco and the 580. And they do have different nibs on them. So let me go ahead and, it's a different size nib, obviously, but I'll show you. They're both in a rose gold coating. There you go. This one's an extra fine, I believe. Yeah. And then this one is the 1.1 stub, but as you can see, they are a different size. And I find that the nibs on the Diamond 580 tend to be a little smoother than on the Eco, but the Eco nibs are also quite good. Let's see. I don't know if it'll do you much good to compare to the white one, but you can see the nib, the general nib sizing is the same on these. And what do I have in this one? I have a medium, I think. Yeah, sometimes the lettering goes down into the this area, whatever this area is called. So it's hard to see what the nib size is. Okay, so now I'm going to get my little sample book for fountain pens. It's a really cold day today, and my sleeves are riding up. And normally I try to have my sleeves kind of out of the way, but today they are more in the way because it's very cold, and I have a long sleeve shirt on and a sweater on, and I had a somewhat nicer shirt on because I had a lot of staff meetings today, unfortunately. So that's that. And I'm actually noticing that this bottle is super cold. There is some controversy about whether or not you should even ship ink when it is below zero, or below freezing, not below zero. Let's see, what is it right now? Right now it's 30 degrees, so it is below freezing. So this, but it doesn't, I mean, it seems liquid still. The danger is that your ink could freeze and then the bottle could break. But I don't know if there's any harm to letting it freeze and then letting it unfreeze if the bottle doesn't break. So I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and find a page here that has not been used yet. And I will do a little test. First, let's fill it and then we'll test it. One before the other. Okay, so this is the paper towel that I've been using a lot. So these, I use them for a lot for watercolor. These are shop paper towels. They have this blue color and they're essentially paper towels, but they're very thick and sturdy. And you can find them on Amazon or other places by just Googling or by just putting in shop towels or blue shop towels. And they last a really long time. So I'm trying to get the most use out of this. They're really absorbent and they're not like one-use paper towels if you're using them for things like this, like inking up a pen or with watercolor. You can use them for quite a long time. All right, so that looks like a very dark sepia there. So let's see how it works with this. I was debating whether I wanted to put a shimmer ink in here just because the nib is larger, and I thought, well, you know, maybe I could risk it with that. Okay, and this is the problem I had before with my other bottle of Kobe ink. The bottle itself is pretty shallow, so what I ended up doing is just putting it in at an angle and filling it that way. And you can probably actually see a little better that way too. I usually do this at least twice so that I can get a pretty good fill, because the first time you fill, you're never really getting ink all the way in, and that's mostly because you're essentially priming the feed with ink, and the ink takes up quite a bit of, you're priming the feed, and the feed fills up with quite a bit of ink. If that's not what I said, that's what I meant. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that bottle up. I'll put that there. And these inks are all dried on here, so it's probably okay to just wipe this over in the same place. And I do try to get the paper towel or whatever I'm using down into this little area just so that there's not ink leaking out, because ink does get stuck in there, and that's just kind of the way it goes with an eco. Okay, but ecos really are one of my favorites on the lower end of pen pricing. So now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Let's see. It's pretty good. Ooh, uh-oh. I did turn the knob. Okay, good. Apparently I did not turn the knob enough for the ink to get in there. So I am going to post it. This pen does post quite nicely. It does make it a little bit big, but it's not too bad. Okay, so let's see. This is, oh, lovely. This is the TWSBI Eco. And I've noticed that let me move this so you can see the rest of what I'm going to be writing here. I've noticed that the smoke rose gold, or the rose gold rather, coated nibs tend to write better than the regular nibs. I find them to be a little bit smoother. So I don't know if that's just, you know, me thinking that's the case, or if that's actually the case. So this is TWSBI Eco Special Edition. I had it open there for a while. Special Edition Smoke, and I tend to like to hold it this way when writing so that I can get some more variation and the line is not as thick if I hold the stub nib sideways. And then this ink is Kobe. Actually, let me make sure I get the name right. Kobe Shioya. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Vintage Sepia. And I will be doing a swatching of this in my book, but I probably won't do it on camera because you're already seeing what this ink looks like, because this is a pretty big stub. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a swatch here. You can see that you can get some pretty good variation out of this ink. And I will, let's go this way, and then let's go that way. I will put this up closer to the camera so you can see a little bit more. It seems to be lightening up a little bit as it dries. Let's go ahead and do the quick brown fox. Let's see. So I'll write actually with this perpendicular here to the line, or parallel to the line, and then I will do it perpendicular to the line, and I'll do both in cursive. So let's see. This nib actually writes really, really well. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it almost perpendicular. And this is, like I said, how I like to write with it most of the time. Okay, and let's add one more. I will and then I'll add that the other way too. All right. And let's see. Okay, I'm going to close that up and get that a little bit closer and tilt it so that you can see some of the shading. This is a pretty dark sepia, but I kind of like it. You can see the lighter shading the most here in like the bottom part of the squigglies and up here in the top part of this little sample that I did. And I think that this would probably show up lighter in a smaller nib. This is just using quite a bit of ink, but I think it's a lovely color. It's a lovely color. I'm trying to get closer even so that you can see. It has sort of a lovely golden color in the lighter areas there. All right, well, that's all I had for you today. We went a little longer because I went into a few more details, but feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Feel free to show up for other videos, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.